mention, since that came up, on our website, we have testimonials from a number of folks. Maybe 6 or 7 folks have written testimonials. Both Joe and I have written testimonials about how we came to be an atheist. And it's amazing to me the different paths that people take, because I wasn't raised as a religious household, but a lot of people were. You were, and some of our other members were actually very serious about religion, and the more they dug into it, the more they figured out that, hey, this doesn't make sense. That's a very common way of getting here.
Yeah, it's another important answer to the question, why do we have the TV show? And for my part, yes, I spent years not believing in religion anymore, but not really understanding what that's called. I was an agnostic without even ever hearing the word agnostic, even after having years of religion classes. They didn't talk to us about agnosticism or atheism until I found an atheist organization. Then I understood what I was suddenly, that there's a name for it, and that it is something we can be proud of. Because, again, one great quality about atheists, I think, is that they have either realized that there's a problem with religion and gotten away from it, or never were with it, but that religion is so big and so universal, it seems, and so all-encompassing in society, especially ours, that people who don't have a religion are somewhat special. But because we come to that from a lot of different ways and backgrounds, a variety of different backgrounds, that means that our atheism means a little bit different to each of us. We have different opinions about what it means, but the very technical aspects, the minimal aspects of it, are good enough, I think, to celebrate. Because the part of me that's not religious is the human being. Because whenever I hear about religion, it's superfluous and somewhat inhumane or anti-human, or it places humans underneath a ghost in the sky. And if they can't find that God, and if most Christians don't even want to try to find their God, I think that adds 100 points to the quality of atheism and atheists. And I've really enjoyed having a part in the atheist community since I've been in it. So,
yep, a lot of good folks. Okay, let's go to another caller. We have Matt on the line.
Hey,
Matt,
guys.
You're on the wrong side of the phone, Matt.
No, I'm not. Evidently, I'm on the right side of the phone.
Okay.
You guys are doing a great job. How are you doing?
Good. This is Matt Dillahunty, our normal host.
Yeah, I had a wedding reception to go to for some other ACA members.
So you believe in love?
Had a good time and pigged out thoroughly, but I got home in time to watch the show. And I want to make a couple quick callers without being a big Budinsky.
Okay.
Comments on the last call. A lot of times we get people calling in to talk about how negative we are, or how atheism is just a negative thing, because even in and of itself the definition is without religion, and many of us, like myself, tend to be anti-theists, where we're actively pointing out the things that are wrong with religion. Yeah, it's one thing to be positive and another thing to be negative. But if you are addressing negative issues like divisiveness and favoritism and the marginalization of people's rights and policies which cause human suffering and work against efforts to make the world a better place, when you're addressing those negative issues to change them, you're not doing something negative, you're doing something positive. So while I agree with him that it's best to work for something, I think we are.
So it's like don't shoot the messenger sort of thing, right? We're bringing a message that these things are bad, and we're pointing that out. And maybe a lot of folks think that that means that we're just bringing up negative stuff.
Yeah, it's, I've used the hitting somebody over the head with a board analogy before. If you come across somebody who's hitting somebody over the head with a board, raising attention to that and making them stop isn't a negative action.
Yeah, there's a cartoon about that.
And it's not persecution. It's not a violation. They don't have some inherent right to hit you over the head with the board. The last point quickly was, he was talking about how difficult it is, and you addressed this a little bit, to convince believers. And one of the reasons that I do the show, I don't necessarily think that I'm going to change the mind of the person that I'm speaking to on the phone as much as, like you mentioned, some of the fence sitters. As somebody who used to be a Christian, I know that reasoned, logical arguments can change someone's mind because it changed mine. So there's some evidence.
You're a living example of it, huh?
Yeah, but I also have received a number of emails from people who were in fence-setting positions, who, because of either the work on the TV show or something I wrote somewhere else, wanted to write and say, hey, thanks, because this one little thing you said, I may disagree with 50 other things you said, or not understand it, or not be on the same page. But one thing you said helped focus my attention in a way that it did manage to change my mind and did solidify my understanding of how it's possible to celebrate life and have a wonderful, normal existence without this, deference to deities. It's just...
Yeah.
So I tend to think it's all positive. Granted, I've been known to get into shouting matches and a little bit of name calling and polemics, especially, when you got that asshat Jerry Falwell. But
one of
just
many.
Because you're taking action against something you find negative doesn't mean your actions are negative. So
that's a great point, Matt. I'm glad you brought that up.
Anyway, great show today, guys, and I won't be at Threadgills today, but I'm sure there's a lot of others who will. So have fun, and I'll see y'all soon.
Okay. All right. Well, Matt will be on.
For people who've been watching clips on YouTube, if this clip happens to make it to YouTube, it's worth pointing out that you can watch the entire show by going to the website, www.atheist-experience.com, as well as archive shows by clicking on the show archive there. Most of them are on Google Video, some of them are on Blip TV.